Is it rolling? All right. Hello, everyone. TK here with TK Breakdown, and today I have a special guest with me, Freddie. Freddie will tell you about his wonderful websites and the business that we are sitting in right now. Go ahead and take it away, Fred.
Right now we're in front of the Humidors at Smoke and Fire Cigar Shop. We've got a bunch of good cigars. We've got coffee. We've got kind of a little bit of everything. Right now we're inside the Beatrice Mercantile Building at 301 Court, right next door to the brewery. So you can grab yourself a beer, you can get yourself a cigar, head out to the patio, and enjoy the evening.
You can also find him on Instagram and online if you want to do some online shopping too. He's got a lot of good merch on there and a lot of other good things. So go ahead and check him out, guys.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks for having me, TK. And I hope this is a good enough spot we can do the podcast.
I think it'll work.
No problem. But the website's www.smokeandfirecigars.com. And you can head over to Facebook, Smoke and Fire Cigars, and check that out too.
Alright.
What do you want to talk about?
So we'll talk about the recent things. The flood.
Oh, the flooding here in town.
Yes. How do you think that?
I got to tell you, I was working during the whole thing. Not here, of course. I was working on a regular job. It got a little crazy. There was a lot of flooding. I think the river was going up like 4 feet an hour or something.
Oh, Jesus.
So, just drive your car through that if you really want to.
Seen a couple vehicles on Facebook underwater and everything.
There was something, I think there was one in Chautauqua that was like all the way above almost the roof of the truck. So that's good.
Could have been worse.
Yeah,
didn't close the bridge down, luckily, but we'll see. I mean, a lot of upset farmers out there. They're the ones that they want the rain so bad.
Well,
and then they get it.
Yeah, the truth is, we needed the rain, but we didn't need that much.
All right, so we're gonna hit a little touchy subject here.
Oh, straight away. It's a TK breakdown. We go straight for the goods here.
So I'm gonna ask your opinion because for me, you're a very open-minded person to me. You kind of know your stuff because you look it up. So how do you feel about the recent death, George Floyd?
George Floyd. I try not to. The whole thing has been very much political.
Correct. Now I'm trying to stay away from that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously.
I don't like to get political. I don't know if I want to even give an opinion on whether it was right or wrong, because I think that's going to be for a jury to decide. That's going to have to go through the justice system, the proper channels. I think it was put there for a reason, that whole system. So, and it's worked this far. I mean, some people say it obviously isn't working all the way down to the officers, but that remains to be seen.
Sure. And another thing, like I said, not to try to get too much into it, but a lot of people are asking to make a new law. So if a civilian thinks he's seen a police officer using his power, that they can step in. What are your thoughts on that?
I think despite what is all happening, all the bad stuff, the rioting, looting, and violence, it's, the police might not like this attention, but I don't think it's a bad thing for police to have this attention so that we can focus on the justice system and what is wrong and fix it. This is an opportunity to fix it. And with that whole thing, with George Floyd's death, that was the perfect stage for people to make their voices heard.
Right. Totally agree with that.
On anything that might be occurring. Here in the Midwest, we probably don't see it as much, obviously, but everything's different everywhere. So bringing that stuff to light is important. But it's doing it correctly. That's what things come south.
Right. And I think a big issue, and me personally, I think a big issue in today's society, I shouldn't say it's an issue, but it's also a good thing in social media.
Okay,
because there's pros and cons to it. Pros are, you can see what really happens to truth sometimes. But the cons are people take those videos and then edit them, take pictures and twist them into making certain thing a different story. And I think that's what people now these days just live off. They live off social media. I would hate to see what would happen to the world if we just black out.
Oh,
no
yeah.
TV, no nothing. You just gotta chill basically, see how they do. And honestly, I don't think they'll, hate to say it, but the new generation, I don't think they do very well.
No. We've become really reliant on technology. I think everybody has. So it's kind of, it's important that we pay attention to those things. Keep them working. I mean, that's about all we can do. I see what you did there.
But so you kind of know a little bit about the law and whatnot a little bit. So juvenile records, those are once you hit, is it 18?
I think so. I don't know a whole lot about the law, but I would assume that juvenile records, like once you hit 18, what do you ask this question?
That it goes away. Like no one can look at it.
Okay, like an MIB?
Kind of, yeah. Or is it any charge, or is it just like if it's a serious charge, it carries on?
I think those things stay on record. I think they're always on a record. It happens, and I think with the way police departments keep records, I think those things just stay there. It might not show up if somebody like hires you, right? Looks at your criminal history and employment level. It's probably not going to show up on this thing. I totally. And that's
because I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, what if you're like a 16, 17-year-old and you catch an assault charge on like an officer or something, and supposedly the juvenile record, like I said, I don't know exactly, but say it disappears and they can't see it, and an officer pulls over this young individual and doesn't know what he's expecting. See, that's where I was just like, do they know that he's a violent person, or since the juvie record is locked, you get to see it?
Unless that person is on some sort of probation for that, or they have. It's my understanding is, an officer is not going to see an entire criminal history of somebody.
Take to it.
Right. Well, I mean, it's valuable to pull those things. They have to have a reason to do that. So, I don't think they would argue on just a traffic stop. They're going to be able to look up whether you assaulted a police officer when you were 16, 17. You got that charge. Hopefully, you don't get a charge like that at 16 or 17.
Yeah, it happens.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's murder charges out there at young age, which is crazy, but. See I don't know if you've seen the recent news that a woman shot her husband on I-80.
Yeah. I heard about that like the day after people were talking about it.
I guess like he just pulled over and just.
Yeah, she just.
Like it makes you wonder like what happened before all that. Like so far I haven't read anything. Like was he abusive? Was he not? Was she crazy? Was she not? Like, and in front of the kids too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I can't see that. I just can't. I can't picture that. I can't picture that kind of violence. People coming. I saw in the news. Huh?
Oh, what's going on now in Beatrice or in Gage County? I can't really think of much. I mean,
I don't know. I think Beatrice, especially, the coronavirus hit in a very different way than like Lincoln. Because if you go to Lincoln, it's like you almost get scoffed at people for not wearing a mask, Whereas here, people just kind of freely, nobody really wore that, didn't mask thing. Like there's stores that you can have to wear.
Yeah, I think Menards is one of them. They won't let you in. Like where I work at, and I got farmers coming in all the time, and I had this dude come in. They were pretty funny. I don't know how true it was. He was like 86 to 90 years old, and he was like, "Oh, what's your thought on all this?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's just another virus that people are freaking out about." I'm like, "What about you?" He's like, "I survived through the Great Depression. I'm fine." I'm like, "This dude's 90 years old, not wearing a mask, just doesn't care." That's a great, I guess, way to live.
I suppose. Hey, carefree.
I guess if you lived through the Great Depression, like, hey, you got it, top of the notch.
No kidding. No, I can imagine.
The world is just something different.
Well, yeah. As a business, I have to ask myself, what do I have to do? Because I don't want people coming in here getting sick. That's not good.
Right.
And when it comes to cigars, it's like they're very much something that people are going to handle, and they're going to eventually put this thing in their mouth. So I have to go through and go, all right, what do I need to do? And so, yeah, extra nights I've been, even with this thing on, I've been cleaning and everything down. I added an alcohol solution to the humidors. And I do that at night, and what that does is the alcohol evaporates in the humidor and basically kills the germs that's in there. I think it does a really good job. All the cigars are wrapped in cellophane, so there's that.
So you took pretty good precautions.
Absolutely.
To make your customers feel good too.
Yeah,
as well.
despite the coronavirus, and even before, pre-COVID times, the humidors are number one to be clean. That's just etiquette of a cigar store.
I also felt like seeing other countries. Some countries didn't take it seriously, and then they just got wrecked hard.
Yep.
And I'm not saying America didn't take it seriously, but I felt like they were like, yeah, we noticed it. And then once the tolls started going up, like, oh hey, we need to start doing this. I'm like, well, it's a little too late for that.
So I don't think it spread as fast as people thought it was going to. Like, it's in a sense that it didn't spread as easily because we've got a lot of small towns in Denver, so I won't see the case. The majority of the small towns, I would venture to say. Big cities,
Can you imagine in New York, if you don't know you have it, you're walking next to people.
Oh yeah, you're gonna rub up your shoulders with a bunch of people
on subway. You get in a taxi. Those taxi drivers won't clean out the back seats, spray it down. So, I mean, I can see why it spread, but I think a lot of it though is why people get scared is because they're not talking about the cases of people that got healthy and they survived it.
Yeah.
Everyone's worried about the numbers rising and then the deaths. They're not worried about the recovery.
There's not a lot of information about it, but so that makes it even scarier. I don't know. I haven't been too terribly worried about it. I think that the government overreacted quite a bit. I think there was more of a reaction to this than there was, any sort of comeback. Like when they started putting the direct health measures in place for these small businesses, they didn't think, well, these small businesses are going to need help because those direct health, and they just destroyed small businesses. In Lincoln, there's going to be, tens, maybe more, of businesses that are not going to be able. A building like this had a hard time. Bars got those direct health measures; they couldn't do that.
Yeah,
I was lucky. I didn't have to worry about it too much. I could do curbside delivery and pickup, and that helped get through the whole thing. But even now, if we have a second wave and they decide to do that again, we're going to lose even more small businesses. And there's not a lot of help. Sure, they're handing out money, but they don't go so far. I think. But with people scared, all the money in the world, you don't have customers.
And another thing, what Comic said, people overthinking it, is washing your hands all the time, wearing gloves, I get all that, but if you don't know a whole lot, if you wear gloves, kind of like how I explained it, you don't cut raw chicken. Like your hands are over raw chicken, and then you don't go over to your salad and touch your salad and mix it.
Yeah.
Like, don't wear gloves at one place and then keep wearing them throughout the whole day because that's just spreading. You technically have to change your gloves out. Same way with washing hands, it will get to the point where this disease mutates and that doesn't help. Don't get me wrong, wash your hands all this too. But don't do it as rapidly as people make them think you have to do. But I don't know. It was an eye opener for a lot of people, I think, obviously.
Yeah.
And it just shows how easily people can get scared in this world.
Yeah, and how easily things can just shut down.
Yeah. Restaurants, like you said, bars, everything was takeout, contactless delivery, everything like that. Kind of like if you didn't have customers in here, it would be harder for you.
Yeah. Well, one thing it did that actually helped me, I'm not saying it was a good thing, but it kind of forced me to get the whole online going in the business. So I'm able to do that now, and I didn't have that before. I was always kind of procrastinating doing that, but I ended up getting it done.
I don't know. I think, in my opinion, I think if the second wave did come, all the people that didn't really wear a mask and wasn't kind of like me, I'm like, well, if I get it, I get it. You know, I'm a healthy young male. You know, I'm in a pretty good shape, healthy. If it affects me, then it affects me. But all these people taking the precaution and everything, that second wave hits, the industry hurt more than the people that just kind of were open about it. I had an open mind about it, me personally. I'm like, if it happens, it happens, you know.
Yeah.
But we've seen all over the news and social media, oh, it's just a conspiracy. You know, not trying to get into politics, but you know, for the next election, I'm like, people are just crazy. They just think 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You throw one thing out there, well, it goes off.
For sure. This is nice to drink beer and do podcasts in here.
So what are your thoughts on Nebraska not having a? I was told multiple times that we do not have a standing ground wall.
That's true.
How do you feel about that? You personally, because I know you're pretty big into guns and everything, and you're going to protect what you own.
Yeah. There's just, you know, you can always go out and take a concealed carry class and learn a little bit of, you know, what you're allowed to do, I guess, but, you know, how you should act in a situation where you should have to take that kind of action. And I took a concealed carry class and got my concealed carry, and I learned a lot about the whole standard ground and all that thing. One of the things is, you know, you have to be able to prove that there was no way out of that situation. And in any respect, you should try to find a way out of that situation. Any situation. If there's a way out, you should take it. You know, it might not be ideal. You might lose personal property, but I think that you should fall back on the police when it comes to certain things. Now, when it comes to protecting your loved ones or people who can protect themselves, fire away. My opinion, I think you're good. But as long as you can't get out of this situation, if somebody puts you in a place where you can't escape, essentially, right, or de-escalate the situation, right. That's one thing that you can do.
Because I believe, I haven't taken one, so maybe you can clarify yes or no, but I believe if you are concealed carrying, and if someone is getting violent with you out in public, you do have to tell them, I am carrying. Is that true?
I think, well, it's not, I don't think it's true. I don't think you have to.
Or is it just better for your case, do you think?
In those situations, if somebody is aggravated, you know, looking to cause a fight with you or looking to hurt you in some way, unless they brandish a weapon, you know, if you can get away from that situation, you can turn around and walk out the door and call the police and let them know that it happened, that's going to be better. Instead of saying, I have a gun, you know, forcing them to possibly escalate the situation knowing you have a gun. See, so now if they have a weapon and there's, you know, children in there, you got to use your brain to think, can I get out of this situation? You know, or do I have to take this action to save these people? Right. That's, you know, it's going to be a hard decision, and hope to God they never have to do something like that, because you're going to have to stand by the decision you make in that moment.
What do you think about, like, you know, random civilians though? Like if they're like a gas station, and that gas station's getting robbed, the robber doesn't know they're there, and they just come out and they point their gun at them, tell them to get down, and then they point their gun at them. Do you think once that gun is pointed at you, if I was a robber, is that clear to fire? Because you don't want that robber taking the first shot at you?
Oh, yeah. If it's a do or die situation, for sure.
But do you think he should rely on the police and just hide where he's at, or do you think he should go intervene and try to stop the robbing?
It depends what they're robbing. If they're breaking into a car and stealing some things, you know, if they come in your house, and one of the things I've always, what we kind of talked about, you know, if a guy comes in there and he, you know, comes into your house and he's already made the attempt to try to hurt people, or looks like he's going to, if he leaves the residence and comes back, you know, you don't know if he's going to get a gun and come back. you don't know that when he goes out. So that's where if this person comes back in, that's when you take a shot for sure because you don't know. He left and came back. He could have grabbed the gun and use it. So I don't know. I just pray God. You can train for those situations, talk about them, think about them, but
until you're actually in that,
yeah,
it's a totally different role.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know I watched Dr. Phillips one time. This lady, she felt so bad that she was watching her kids with a friend, and she locked herself in the room. Mm-hmm. She was on the phone with 911 saying, "Hey, he's trying to get in the room. Do I have permission to fire?" 911 told him, "You do what you have to do to protect yourself because they're not going to jump out of second story window with babies." Exactly. Yeah. And he broke through that door, and she just let off a round, and it killed him, and she felt bad. I'm like, here's the thing. I mean, I can't speak for it. I can't say I won't feel bad because I've never done that before. But if he's trying to harm me, I don't see why I should feel bad. Yeah. But in a way, I don't know where he's coming from. It's true. So it's a hard touch subject to talk about, obviously, because you pray, kind of like I said, you pray you never be in this situation. Exactly. And I think the truth of the matter is that you could end up in that situation, and it could happen tomorrow. So if you're an able-bodied person, I think you're able to, and you're comfortable with learning what you can and can't do and practicing with a firearm, that you should own a firearm if you want to. Do you keep one? You can answer yes or no if you want to. You can say non-answer. It's fine. Do you recommend keep one in the chamber? I don't. I practice with it empty, just because when you're concealing and carrying, I just don't think it's necessary to have one in the chamber. I don't have my concealed carry, so I don't do it, but I openly carry it, have one wherever I travel, and I don't. Yeah. Because in my mind, I play the mindset, someone's reaching for that, there's one in the chamber, bam. If he just tries to click it, he's got to take that full second to load around, and by that time, you can do an action. Sure. So, and that's one of the things when you get a concealed carry, they don't know you have a concealed carry. You don't put a target on your back. That's what's great about that, allowing people to conceal carry, is so that they're not walking around with a target on their back. Or with a gun that somebody can easily grab and take from them and hurt other people. Because not everybody can get a gun. And generally criminals can't get a gun. So if somebody just has one there and the temptation's there or whatever, they just take it off of them. What are your opinions on states that don't require classes or a license to conceal carry? Because there's some states out there where my opinion is you need to go to a class. I think so. Plain and simple. Definitely, I think you should have to take the effort of going through the class and learning what you're going to do, what your responsibility is. But say if you got pulled over since you have concealed carry, do you tell them, hey, I have one on me, even though it's concealed? First thing you do, they're going to ask for your license and registration. You say I have a concealed carry, you give them the card, they're going to probably ask where the gun is. That has happened to me. And usually, sometimes they'll say, just leave it there, you're fine. Or sometimes they'll say, hey, can you reach down very carefully, pull that out and give it to me. It's peace of mind for the officer. So. And I've never been pulled over, but some people think I'm stupid for doing it. But I carried mine on the dash. Like I said, I don't have concealers. It's a big charge. You can sit carry without concealment. And I told him, if I ever get pulled over, you just have my hands like this on the wheel and say, officer, as you can plainly see, I do have my firearm right there. If you want to take it and check it, you can. If that makes you comfortable, just let you know. And they're like, well, you shouldn't have to because he can see it. I'm like, that don't matter. Yeah. Like, to me, I want him to know that I have that. Oh, yeah. For sure. But I totally agree with you. I think, everyone should go through the class. Yeah. Yes, and then if you just let the whole world conceal and carry, you're going to have people with itchy fingers, they can just, or they carry the wrong weapon when they conceal and carry. Yeah. Other news, Freddie, I told him we were going to talk about the cigar of the month. Yeah, let's do that. And what is the cigar of the month, Fred? The cigar of the month, I don't have a cigar of the month. But I can tell you the most popular cigar we have right now is the Deadwoods. They're the Deadwoods cigars. Got 3 in the series that I have. The Crazy Alice,
Sweet Jane, and the Fat Bottom Betty. They're all sweet. They're all really smoky cigars. They have great aroma, and like I said, they're really popular. They just fly off the shelves. And we're trying to get more and more and constantly try to keep up with the stock. We've got some back stock now, which is nice. Coming up here in a few weeks, actually be July 3rd, we're going to have Warfighters rep in the house. And we're going to get some more Warfighter cigars. He's going to be giving away some swag. And that's July 3rd. It'll probably be after 6 p.m., after 7. And might come and bring the patio outside, weather permitting. And so people will be able to come in and meet and greet, get his name with the scarves. I'm sorry. Those cigars there. Who cares about him?
Well, that's another good thing, you know.
Warfire.
If you're ever in Beatrice, check out Southern Hollow. You know, it's a little late in the game, but I'm having Hollow White, I believe, and Freddie's having
Kolsch.
So.
Kolsch is where it's at. The ciders are good. The ciders I haven't tried.
And I can say one thing: there's nothing better than going to a brewery and getting a beer and getting a premium cigar. I mean, when you smoke a cigar, I don't care who you are automatically one step badass than someone that doesn't smoke. I'm like, oh, I don't smoke a cigar. Well, guess what? I'm better than you.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, I mean, you do feel cool, I suppose, smoking a cigar. It's definitely luxury. It's a luxury thing. It's something you can relax and enjoy. You know, just like having a beer, you can relax and enjoy it. A cigar is meant to be enjoyed. You know, there's no finish point to a cigar. You can put it down halfway through. If you're done with it, you're done with it. You're paying for that luxury, however long it lasts.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what makes cigars special and not a vice so much. Not like cigarettes where you just have to have one. You need to make a conscious decision and say, hey, I'm going to smoke a cigar. You've got to dedicate some time to that cigar to truly enjoy it. Because if you rush through a cigar, it can bite you. Some people that have smoked cigarettes for a long time will pick up a cigar and they get kind of impatient and want to finish it, so they'll just smoke. And they're not going to be feeling too good. See, you got to treat a cigar with some respect and enjoy it correctly.
So there is a wrong way to smoke a cigar.
I think so. You can definitely abuse smoking a cigar. Inhaling a cigar is something you don't know. If you didn't know that, I'm telling you now.
If you're a rookie,
do not inhale a cigar because it's not going to treat you very nice at the end of the day. So.
If you could sell cigars to one famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, that's a good question. If I could sell cigars.
If they came into your shop once a week and they bought a bundle of cigars just from you, who would you want to see walk in the store? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive? See, that opens the door.
I'll give you a top 3. How about that?
All right.
So, for me, the people that I think come to mind when I think of cigars, I think Al Capone.
Ooh, that's a good. Yeah, heck yeah, I never thought of that.
Dan Brazilian, the poker player, and I don't know if he really does or not, but Clint Eastwood. I feel like he's a cigar man. I don't know if he is, but I feel like he gets down on a cigar.
Heck yeah.
And I would love to see people like that come into a shop.
Clint Eastwood, that'd be cool. Another one that would be cool is Charlie Sheen.
Oh yeah.
Winston Churchill. That'd be a good one.
Oh yeah, there you go.
And I don't even know if this is the right thing to say. Bill Clinton. I want to sell that guy the cigar. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Oh man. Al Capone, I never thought that'd be cool.
Hey, I'm pretty sure he was
absolutely.
He was a cigar smoker. I'm pretty sure there's some pictures out there.
Yeah.
But back then, you smoked a cigar. You were something back then.
You have to roll your own cigarettes at that time, probably, and show that.
Oh, unless you were him. He probably had someone that would roll out.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's 50 cents. Roll me a bundle.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, cigars are for sure back then.
Just like if you can get an actual Cuban cigar, that used to mean something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still does today, but
absolutely, they're Cuban, Yeah. I mean, you could. I know guys who like to just smoke Nicaraguan tobacco, or even Honduran tobacco. They have just, for me, I like tobacco from the Dominican Republic. That's probably one of my favorite places to eat. I do, yeah, absolutely. Cohiba is infamous for having Dominican Republic tobacco.
So I know I've asked you this before.
Mm-hmm.
So when in your life were you like, this is what I want to do?
Oh. Well, I went to college. When I was in college, I got my job, which I still have now. When I got done with college, I worked for a long time in the business. It wasn't a long time, maybe a year, 2 years, and then decided that I wanted to start my own business. I didn't really know what I wanted to start a business in. I'd been smoking cigars since college. I walked into my first tobacco shop in college, and the only reason I went was because I had some time between classes, and I used to smoke those backwoods cigars. I used to smoke them religiously. Those were my things. I love to have a backwoods cigar. And I thought, there's tobacco shops dedicated to this. So I looked it up and I was like, oh, there's one right over here. Drove over there, walked in, and then I instantly was immersed in the world of the cigar industry. With the huge humidor, all these cigars to choose from. No idea what I'm looking at. But from that point on, I really dove into it and learned a lot about it. And when I come around and said, yeah, I want to start my own business, I thought, I said, do what you love. I tossed around a bunch of other ideas. Some online stores selling, you name it, camping stuff, coffee stuff, which I still have that business online. It's Campfire Coffee. And I still try to, I haven't paid a lot of attention to it because this is my baby here. That's when I was like, cigars. I want to do online cigars. So I started online. I did that for like 3 years, almost 4 years, trying to make it work. The only customers I had were local. I just wasn't good at doing online stuff. And then this opportunity just kind of came out of nowhere. And I started looking around for a brick and mortar, and a friend of a friend told me about the people who were doing this project, and I was like, all right, let's get on the ground floor, let's see what I can do. And sure enough, here we are. Like a year and a half later since I opened.
Still going strong.
Yep, still doing it. Still selling cigars and gathers.
You ever thought about going further? Or are you just, right now, you're just comfortable doing this for now and then maybe taking it somewhere later on?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. And I don't tell a lot of people this.
You're about to tell hundreds of people this.
I would gladly, because, I've had a really hard time keeping up the hours that I work here at the shop. I've had some hard times keeping healthy. And what I do is I still have my full-time job. See, the business here, it makes enough to survive on its own, but it doesn't make near enough to pay me for the lifestyle that I want or currently have. So I keep my full-time job, and it's a night job, and I work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., and every other weekend I work. So when that time comes around, if I don't have somebody to come in and help work the shop, it just has to be closed. And so on the weekends that I work, and even on the weekdays that I work, I'll have to close the shop early sometimes, unless I have somebody coming in. And then I have to sleep at some point because I was up at, So I go to work all night and I have to get the shop open by noon. Probably on me for having the hours, but I just feel like cutting the hours of this place even more is going to affect. Because I get a lot of customers that can't come in in the afternoons, So, I have to get up and get by noon. And by the time I go to bed, 6:37 in the morning after, doing what I need to do, laundry and whatnot, get a couple hours of sleep and then I'm back here. And then I got to do it all over again, you see. And then sometime I got to be back the next day. So, I might get 3 hours of sleep each night. That gets kind of hard. And sometimes I might even end up staying up a little extra later because I got to run errands. I think there's places the guys got to go. So I can't just be here right after I wake up. You know what I mean? I got to go get stuff done. If I need to do other things, groceries, whatever the case may be. Right. So I work a lot. Is what I feel like. I love being here though. That's the thing. I love doing this, and I love bringing cigars to people. I love the customers that come in here and buy cigars. I love being able to just have a cigar, But I don't take anything from this business. The business doesn't pay me. I'm 100% volunteer. And it's been that way since day one. So, I definitely have my sights set on something bigger. Because I would like to get out of my current position, Right. I'm not saying I hate my current position, but doing both of these things at the same time sucks. Yeah.
It puts a lot of strain.
Yeah. So, it's hard to be passionate about one thing, very passionate about one thing, and then, go to a place where you're not necessarily as passionate about being there, and you're like, man, I really don't want to be here. It makes you pretty bitter sometimes. But I've gotten past that point a little bit, so I've kind of been able to time manage a little bit. But getting here at noon, I know it sounds terrible, but it's still not an easy thing for me.
Right.
And I've had some people get upset because I'm not here. It's like they don't realize, and it's not their fault. They just don't realize what I'm doing.
So right now you just can't do this full time, basically, because in winter hours it probably slows down.
That's the biggest issue that this business runs into. In the wintertime, we don't have a place to smoke inside. Yet. That's the key word. You're right. When that happens, it'll be interesting to see how winter goes for us here. But for the time being, in the summertime, when we get good business, pre-COVID times, and even now a little bit, we get decent business. A lot of guys out golfing, a lot of girls out smoking cigars, whatever the case may be. People are out looking for entertainment, And so we get good business. I think I could probably do this, But why would I? Why do I take from the business? So I just leave it all in here, and we just try to grow our inventory. Bring in like coffee, for instance. So just trying to build it, make it better.
One step at a time.
Yeah, and once it gets to that point, then I might say, hey, I'm going to do this, and that's when I'm going to take the jump and say, all right, I'm leaving my current position. Doing this.
But kind of like I said, year and a half you've been open.
Yep.
Did you expect to be still here in a year and a half, or
no.
Honestly, or are you like, I'm glad for what I've acquired?
Patient. I want to move faster than anything else. It's going on. I want to have them out right now.
Right.
I want to have certain other cigars right now. I want to. I just want to move faster than things are actually doing. But I'm just going to stay patient. Try to keep, remind myself, hey, little steps. Get better every day. And I think the business will grow along with the customers.
I totally get it. Like I said, I appreciate you helping me out.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
And like we were talking before we started recording and everything, like the day you came at the fire department and you told us, no, I'm gonna run my own cigar shop. There's a couple people there, they laughed at you. And I sat there and I'm like, you got this.
Yeah, man.
And not a lot of people follow their dreams, and you're one example. And when someone's just like, should I follow my dreams? I'm like, you go ask Fred. Fred followed his dreams, and he'll tell you all about it. It's not an easy road. It's not.
No.
Like the whole podcast thing, this is what I want to do. It's not an easy road, but I'm going to stick through it until I'm either in the ground or social media was just like, no more. You can't do that no more.
Exactly. My only thing is I've learned a lot from when I started this business. I thought that this was all new. Now I realize that you learn. See, your dream changes, I think, personally. What you aspire to be or what you aspire to build changes because you learn different things along the way.
Right.
So I might want a cigar lounge now, but in a year or 2 years it could be something completely different. Who knows? Who really knows? Because I'm going to learn things along the way. And I'm not ashamed to say, if I say one day I decide I want to do something else, and then this isn't right for me, and as long as I don't have any regrets about it, I think it's fine. I think it's fine to stop what you're doing and try something else.
Right. But kind of like you say, maybe one day, and I'm not saying that it won't happen, but because you never know. Great stuff happen. Maybe one day, someone very popular or famous can walk in here, and you just you treat him with the most amount of respect and you help him find a premium cigar,
Right.
next thing you know, a news article about so and so went to smoke fire.
Yep.
And then it could jump off. You just never know.
You never know.
And that's what everyone hopes for in life. When they run a business, I pray that someone comes in here and just boom, boost me. But maybe one day. I mean, I'm not saying Beatrice is a dying town because it's really not. It's still going strong.
It's an interesting town. That's for sure. When it comes to businesses, I think Beatrice is kind of weird. I don't know. I've only run a business in Beatrice, so I can't say.
Well, I would say it's weird. I know we're jumping real quick because Hy-Vee was supposed to come down and shot go.
Yeah.
I got told that they're backing out. They're not coming.
That's what
I mean, I think it would be a great asset to the town. Hy-Vee, me personally, because we just have Walmart.
Yeah.
And it's Walmart. Everyone knows it's Walmart.
Yep.
So, but yeah. Do you have any closing words at all, or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for letting me get in the podcast.
Anytime. I appreciate it. Love it that you let me come to the shop and you invited me. You got everything all set up.
Oh yeah, that's good. We'll we'll do some more podcasts in the future. That'll be fun.
Hopefully we can get upcoming singer.
Oh yeah.
To join the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. See, we did that. Was it 2 or 3 days ago? I guess. Yep. We had an artist that we Dylan Dorsey. That's up on the website. That's on Facebook too. Yep. And I don't, it was kind of like a little takeaway show because we don't have a whole lot of space. We can't put on a live performance, but we can do stuff like this. And yeah, that's it. Yeah. Also, it was worth it. It's good
for next year, for some of you that don't follow me and everything, next year I'm going to try to come out with a calendar for next year.
All right.
So, like I said, been meaning to come talk to you about it. We'll have you in there, go and get some cigars, and have you sitting there strumming on the banjo.
Yeah,
for a nice picture. Mm-hmm. So I have someone that's just like, I can try it, dirt cheap. Yep. We'll go from there, and I'm like, let's do it. So,
what's he doing? What's the next big project for TK Breakdown? Is that it for the calendar?
The next big project is go to YouTube.
Okay.
Without video, it's just just the audio. But I want to hit the goal before the year ends. Yeah. We get a calendar, YouTube, and then camera to start going live, kind of like what we're doing now. Not necessarily live, but to get to YouTube so people can watch it. It's easier. Yeah. So that's the big thing. And then hopefully by next year, I'm going to have a studio, and then I'm going to start selling merch. But I have someone that's a pretty reliable source on making me koozies and shirts right now. It's just no one's buying, which totally understand. Yeah. It's a small thing,
Well, I'll sell them in here.
But we did a giveaway earlier this year, cups and everything. I think we're gonna do one for Christmas. Sure. So if you want to get on board on that, just keep following the page, and we'll let you know. And that's basically it.
Well, I'm gonna keep listening to the TK Breakdown.
I mean, we're a year strong right now. We went from one day, it jumped pretty good, I would say, when we did the giveaway, and I saw that coming. We went from 20 likes on the page to I think we're at 82 likes in like 3 days, because I said if you like the page, get you giveaway. So that's why everyone started liking. But if you look, it shows views when someone clicks the link. We hit 454 views on the video, and I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah. And someone's just like, that's a small number. I'm like, not to me, that's a great number. Right. So, and the biggest thing is I'm going to hit 100 likes before the end of the year. It's going to be hard. If I don't get it, I'm not going to be hurt, obviously, but that's another goal. 100 likes on the Facebook page. So that's the big thing. Also, if you guys aren't following, go ahead and follow Smoke Fire Cigars on Facebook. He's always got deals going on, some good stuff. And like you said at the beginning, come check out the shop. He plays a mean banjo too, and he treats you with respect. If you're a new beginner, you come in here like, I don't know what to get, he'll walk you through everything he's got. I promise you, he'll treat you well.
I appreciate that, man. So, you gotta be the only podcast I know right now talking about local stuff in Beatrice. That's
cool. That's another thing. We're gonna kind of like you inspired me to do. We're gonna try to start blogging. So blogging, yeah. About multiple stuff in Gates County. So we're gonna start doing that. Hopefully, see where it goes. So we're gonna do that, and we'll probably call that something a little different. Haven't got a name for it yet, but we'll go from there.
All right, welcome to the shop. Thanks for stopping in.
Always a
TK
pleasure.
Breakdown, Smoke Fire Cigars. We're the coolest people in the world.
Have a good night, y'all.